and Evolving Wilds making an impact there.
Yeah, and this is very similar. Previously, if you remember Standard back toward the end of 2009, there was this huge surgence of black-white token decks back then. And again, they only had one land that produced both black and white mana. So what they did was they started playing Arcane Sanctum, which is very similar to Evolving Wilds, same thing almost. So they were also trying to cast Spectral Recession, which is kind of fun.
LSV and what was that, Pro Tour?
Kyoto. I was there. Yeah, I did very well day one and then lost every match I played on day 2.
Alright, so
a Ratchet Bomb on turn 2 from Adam Prosak to battle the Champion of the Parish from Heath Perdue. And let's see, does Heath Perdue have a Lingering Souls for turn 3? No, it's an Honor of the Pure. And it looks like Heath is casting his spells one turn behind. He probably drew the Champion on turn 2 and had a little bit of a hiccup in his curve.
Yeah. Well, so the Ratchet Bomb's there. Safety valve.
So something nice Heath did there. It's very likely that Heath has some sort of token producer in his hand, but Heath waits till Adam picks up that Ratchet Bomb before he decides to go ahead and cast that spell.
Right.
Let's see. A Hero of Bladehold. Now, Hero is just one of the strongest cards that's around right now. It's, if it ever attacks, you're basically just crushing your opponent. With an Honor of the Pure in play, it attacks for 10 the first time it attacks.
That's
a lot of damage.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Now, Adam, fervently searching for a card that can kill this Hero of Bladehold.
Yeah, just goes through it. Basically cycles the spell bomb there, just trying to get cards.
And Heath there, I'm not sure if you even need to play that Vault of the Archangel. You kind of reveal what you're playing by doing that. Also, casting some spells. Oh, it's an Intangible Virtue.
Yeah, that's...
oh, wow. That's 12. He's tagging for 12 right now.
Yeah, one guy making a huge impact. Obviously, not just one, but one card making a massive impact.
So Adam's going to fall to 6 here.
It looks like Adam's playing mono black right now. Obviously, we know that's not the case, but Adam may want to hold off on playing anything blue. Yeah.
And Adam just packs it in.
So Heath may very well not play around any counter spells in game 2, just from having not seen anything from Adam.
And I mean, that's what Hero of Bladehold does.
That was you said it. It's one of the strongest cards in the format, and it proved it right there. That was.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else was playing the Fantasy Pro Tour on Facebook.
I did do that, yeah.
For a medium-sized creature, did you pick Hero of Bladehold?
I didn't. I picked Geist of St. Traft.
Nice.
What, did you choose Hero?
I had I did end up choosing Hero, but I had a little bit of an internal struggle because I really wanted to take Solemn Simulacrum. I just didn't know what to do. I was like, Solemn Simulacrum or Hero of Bladehold, which one do I pick?
I think I went Snapcaster, Geist of St. Traft, and I think Primeval Titan may have been the right pick, but I picked Sun Titan anyway just to be stubborn because I didn't want it to be Primeval Titan. What were your creatures? Obviously,
Snapcaster Mage, Hero of Bladehold, and Primeval Titan.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, obviously, we're on the same similar wavelength for the small and the large creatures. I didn't even consider Hero because I saw Geist of St. Traft and thought, I feel like it's seen play in different kinds of decks. Hero is pretty much in just these kind of white-based aggro decks, but some of the some control decks are even playing Geist of St. Traft in sideboards and things.
Oh yeah, I mean, Geist is certainly going to see a ton of play. I think it's one of the best cards around. I think the biggest problem that Geist has going into this Pro Tour is that I wasn't sure how many people were going to go Geist and how many people were going to go Drogskill Captain.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So you can't really play both. So unless you won top 8 last weekend in Richmond, then you can.
Right. What was your choice for Planeswalker?
I took Sorin, which was probably a mistake. I probably should have taken Garruk Relentless.
I went with Liliana, even though, again, I was kind of thinking I may be, making the wrong choice here. But, it's all in fun, so it was wishful thinking, too, on my part, because, Sorin, I figured, just goes in one deck, pretty much, just to like a black-white tokens deck. It kind of sees some play, you know, as an Elspeth kind of thing in some other decks, but and it is popular right now, so I thought that might have a lot going for it that way. But I just went with Liliana because I felt like she kind of can go in multiple different, you know, black-based strategies. But Sorin may have been a better pick.
I'm also interested to see, like, once this format shakes out, Liliana, you know, might be much better now than it was previously. And I know it seems strange because of the token strategies, and those are bad because, you know, she's trying to edict people.
Yeah.
But in the same way, you can +1 Liliana and discard a Lingering Souls. That's really fun.
You discard, and I get, you know, to use my card. Well, then again, you can +1 Liliana, and they discard Lingering Souls too.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, we don't know how the standard format will look in 3 weeks.
Right.
Because, you know, right now we have the Pro Tour happening this weekend, but those aren't going to be the decks people are playing in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, it's all going to change again. And this tournament, you know, people have access to that information from the Pro Tour, so they're going to be reacting and changing their decks in that way.
Yeah.
All right, we're off to the races. And Adam, on the play, leads off with a basic. Heath with a basic of his own. Adam reveals to Heath that he's playing blue. I'm playing blue.
And Heath, you know, boarded in all his Celestial Purges. He may very well have, yeah. But I don't know how many black permanents he's going to have to deal with. There is a Sorin Markov in Prosak's deck.
And I guarantee you that the number of Celestial Purges to the number of Sorin Markovs is not really the ratio that Heath wants right now.
So Evolving Wilds helps Heath out there, gets a swamp. So this game's going okay for Adam on this. At this point, nothing really from Heath. And here we go.
Oh, Mirror Crusader.
Crusader gets a mana leak.
Now, if you have Mirror Crusader and Lingering Souls there, I think you lead with Lingering Souls. Because it's going to have a very similar effect. Adam's going to be forced to counter it, but at the same time, you just end up with the card in your graveyard, and you actually just accrued card advantage.
Yeah. So another Evolving Wilds there for Heath, and he's immediately going to the deck. Swamp.
Another swamp. Chooses to go for the double black mana before the triple white mana. Which is interesting, considering
wants to be able to cast the Damnation, I think, just in case.
Well, I think that's telling of his hand too.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have that much black. I don't know. Maybe his hand is, you know, multiple copies of Lingering Souls, so he wants to
be able to
flashback. But he didn't cast it that turn, so.
Well, Forbidden Alchemy at the end of Heath's turn from Adam there,
and that's got to put Adam in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, it looks like he just dumped a bunch of lands in the graveyard, so I guess Adam is a little bit flooded, maybe. So
Adam
he's
activating a Drown Yard, milling
yeah.
himself. Pretty good in a deck like Adam's. He has access to more Forbidden Alchemies and Think Twices. So he mills those into his graveyard. He actually gains a small incremental advantage.
And 3 mana from Heath. Another Crusader with mana leak mana up.
Yep, choosing to play around the mana leak. Very nice. Mirror Crusader, very strong against Adam's deck. Adam choosing Forbidden Alchemy at the end of Heath's turn. Now he's got to find an answer for the Mirror Crusader. And it doesn't look like his deck has that much. You know, he has access to some Tribute to Hungers, a Lace Finale, and some Black Sun Zeniths. So let's see if he uses one right away, or if he waits to see if Heath's going to commit more to the board.
He just binned another mana leak, a Ratchet Bomb, and I think a land there from the Forbidden Alchemy.
Now we're either going to see a Tribute to Hunger, or Adam is probably slow rolling a Master Removal spell. Uh-oh. Looks like Heath is very flooded here.
Alright, well, Crusader gets in and looks like Vault is activated.
All right, so that's going to put Adam down to 16, and Heath's going to pop himself up to 24 here. Adam must have had a really good spell in that Forbidden Alchemy, because we saw a Dismember, a Mana Leak, and a Think Twice hit the bin.
Yeah, well. What do we got? Black Sun Zenith.
The Black Sun Zenith, and
puts the
Adam
brakes
gets
on
to
things.
shuffle that back into his library, which is very strong with the Think Twices and Forbidden Alchemies. Keeps getting to shuffle these Wrath effects back in, and because his deck is just becoming smaller and smaller over time, it actually gains a greater density of these Wrath effects. So
yeah.
As your opponent's running out of steam, you're filling up on it. So it's interesting. Blue-black control, an interesting choice in a new format. Heath getting in for 1 with his token, and he activates the Vault again, putting Adam down to 15 and Heath up to 25 here. And that's a nice Spirit token.
Yeah.
I wonder how one could acquire those. Do we know?
I actually... Well, we don't have the information in front of us, but is that
you actually,
one of the new Star City Spirit tokens?
It is, and you get some random tokens every time you place an order with StarCityGames.com.
And they can get dismembered, just like Heath's did.
Yeah, and that's not even a real card, so your opponent's going to spend real cards to deal with your tokens. And that's because you have Star City tokens.
And Soren Markov. Surprise.
Incoming Celestial Purge.
Wrong Soren. Or the right Soren.
Now, Heath's probably going to go for an end-of-turn Celestial Purge here if he has multiples in his hand, which seems likely considering he's not playing any threats. Yeah. And he wants Adam to burn a Mana Leak on this. Because if Adam Mana Leaks this, then he can just resolve another one during his turn, and he just got the Mana Leak out of Adam's hand.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that second Celestial Purge in his hand, basically a dead card.
Adam did do 15 with that Soren, though. Knocking Heath to 10. Very effective use of that Soren. Let's see what happens here. Elspeth.
So maybe Adam doesn't have a second copy of Celestial Purge, in which case I may have waited to play around the Mana Leak.
Well, he did manage to, set it up so he can resolve Elspeth.
And resolving Elspeth's pretty good too.
Yeah, I think Elspeth will. Soren's not going to stick around very long, I don't think. But we'll see.
And that's it. Soren's Vengeance.
Soren and then his Vengeance.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Adam just says,
I never caught that.
Really?
The names? And why that was named that? Now I know. The more you know.
There you go. That was great. I like that. Just consecutive turns. Not get a 10. Not hit you for 10. Also, Adam is at 21 now.
Yes.
That was pretty awesome. And if he had an answer for that, he was going to Snapcaster. He really could have played Snapcaster Soren's Vengeance next. I mean, that's one of the cooler interactions. We don't have a Cruel Ultimatum really in Standard right now, but I think Soren's Vengeance does a pretty good impression. 7 mana sorcery that pretty much can get close to ending the game on its own.
Yeah, I mean, it kills people. Yeah. We saw Patrick Chapin finish in the finals of Grand Prix Orlando.
Yeah.
His deck featuring Snapcaster Mage and Soren's Vengeance. And I watched him win many matches just by casting Soren's Vengeance twice.
Yeah.
Adam has 3 copies of Soren's Vengeance in his deck.
He's just the one Soren there to do the first 10.
And I guess it's not that bad because, with these 7-mana spells, a lot of the time people say things like, well, you never want to draw more than one of it. But with Soren's Vengeance, I mean, if you cast one, what card would you want more than another
the next one?
one?
Yeah, exactly. It's like he sets it up so that once he plays
What's
one
10 plus
Soren's
10?
Vengeance, right? I think it's ever infinite basically. But that was very relevant there because if that Soren had been a Soren's Vengeance, Heath would have been at 5 there. Yeah. I mean, Adam would have been at what 31, so he probably would have been in good shape. But it wouldn't have actually ended the game. And being able to play Soren and put his opponent at exactly 10 was perfect there. And Yeah, I really like it. And this is, the power of the late game decks, and this is, why you play a late game deck. You just stall. That's the fun of playing Control. A friend of mine that kind of just started playing is like, I always feel like I'm winning against you, and then you win. I don't understand. I'm like, yeah, well, that's what a Control deck does.
That's how it works.
Nothing, win. That's what it does. He'll knock me to 2, and then I come back.
I think Heath actually has a big advantage in this matchup.
Yeah.
The last game, it looked like he may have kept a 5-lander, which is unfortunate, but I haven't played Black-White Tokens yet in the new format, so I'm not sure how you have to mulligan. So maybe you have to keep hands like that. But a 5-lander, generally when you're the aggro, is pretty risky. Another issue, though, is Heath may know that Black-White Tokens does not mulligan very well. When you're playing this many Anthem effects, a lot of the time if you're mulliganing, you end up mulliganing into a hand that's Anthem effects with no guys, or just, like Anthem effects with no guys is basically the big problem, the thing you're worried about.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
you have these spells that are powerful
vault.
that just don't do anything.
I wonder if him having the vault affected his decision. Maybe, I don't know if it was in his opener, but I'm assuming maybe it was. And he was thinking, well, I can draw into some spells. And, I mean, he also had Evolving Wilds, which maybe was part of it too, where he was thinking I can get some lands out of my deck, make it less likely that I draw them.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like he also was drawing into them too. Like he played the turn 2 Evolving Wilds, probably turning it off the top of his deck, like, oh, I can thin my deck of a couple lands, hopefully I won't draw any more.
And there we have
Intangible Virtue.
Intangible Virtue, Anthem with no guys. I'm sure Heath will rectify that right now.
Is there such thing as Tangible Virtue?
That's a good point. I'd like to see that. Tangible Virtue.
Seems redundant.
Yeah. It's an emblem, I guess. I don't know. All right.
And a negate on Lingering Souls. That trade actually favors Heath.
Yeah. Although it does slow the game down a little bit, just,
And that's what Adam wants to do.
Exactly. He just wants to stall.
He's trying to get to 7 mana and just chain some Swords Vengeances together.
I mean, how good is Sorin's Vengeance? Not only does it hit them for 10, it gains you 10, so that's pretty big. That's a Doomed Traveler. It's funny, like...
Aptly named.
Yeah. It's one of the more flavorful cards. This set has so much flavor in it. It's really a lot of fun. Like, not this set, I mean this block. It's really a lot of fun to look and go, yeah, Doomed Traveler is exactly that. So he flashbacks Lingering Souls. So Heath
going from 0 to 5 points of power on the table.
Yeah.
All in one foul swoop. Only using one card.
And
playing around Mana League.
Yeah. He's lucky he randomly ended up with Spirit tokens from Star City. Or else we don't know what kind of tokens he'd be producing.
Well, I think we provide them at the booth.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Actually, forgot all about that. I have an order to pick up at the booth, and I was pretty excited about the tokens to see what tokens I get, but I forgot to pick it up. Forgot that I get the tokens. Now I'm excited to see what I get.
I like them a lot. They kind of remind me of Paper Mario.
I remember that, like, vaguely. I never played it, but...
I'm a big fan of the Wolf token.
There's Vault of the Archangel from Heath.
All right, Heath. Cracking in. Going to bring Adam down to 15 here. Now let's see what he has for us post-combat. To Gather the Townsfolk, again, playing around the Mana League. Now, do you bother casting Gather the Townsfolk here? It doesn't speed up your clock at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, I guess...
And you're playing against a deck with a lot of Wrath effects, too.
Right,
so.
Yeah. You wonder, like, if that's really the right play. He's got some great pressure right now, so...
Especially because he's already cast Forbidden Alchemy. Like, the odds of him not having a Zenith in hand already. Or a Ratchet Bomb, or...
Yeah. And there's the Ratchet Bomb.
Yep. Now, Heath's board of 9 power becomes a board of...
Just 1.
Just 1 power.
Yeah. Intangible Virtue. not so tangible to the Doomed Traveler. But I guess that's the point, it's intangible. There's another Doomed Traveler.
Another Doomed Traveler. There were about 200 players playing in their first Pro Tour in Hawaii this weekend.
Wow.
A lot of them may be referred to as Doomed Travelers. Heath getting in for 2, activating his Vault of the Archangel. Going to put himself to 22, Adam down to 12 here. And that's surprisingly relevant considering Adam's on the Triple Swords Vengeance plan.
Hidetsugu's second right.
And another Ratchet Bomb from Adam. Makes things pretty difficult for Heath here.
Yeah, it's interesting though, the tension there. Does he want to, tick that Ratchet Bomb up and then have, 4 power worth of guys? Or does he have a Zenith that he can, he can do Zenith and then Ratchet Bomb to deal with the tokens? Because, otherwise these Doomed Travelers are, Heath's fine with these Doomed Travelers just getting in to gather the townsfolk.
And there you have to ask yourself, is 2 life really worth giving my opponent the opportunity to mana leak my gather the townsfolk?
Right, yeah, the activating the vault there.
Gather the townsfolk, a raise the alarm from the new set. It has a lot of synergy with cards like Intangible Virtue, Honor the Pure and Star, and Lord of Innistrad.
We need an Isochron Scepter to go with that raise of the alarm.
Yes, we do.
or maybe we really just don't at all. Might be terrible. For the format, that is.
Adam milling himself, finding a Forbidden Alchemy to put into his graveyard. Now, he's not really applying that much pressure now, so Adam, definitely with a Black Sun Zenith there. Ooh, Life's Finale.
Interesting that did he leave that in or bring that in? He's got 1 in the sideboard, that's it. So he brought that in. I guess it's just an additional Wrath effect, but
it also makes sure that your opponent, like, sometimes your removal is pretty conditional against these decks. There are cards that don't kill Hero Blade Hold. There are a ton of cards that don't interact well with Mirror Crusader.
Yeah.
So depending on what's in Adam's hand, he can just, make his opponent's deck not have Mirror Crusaders anymore, or not have Hero Blade Holds anymore.
Can we find out what Adam took out of Heath's deck there? I would say it's probably the Mirror Crusaders. Oh, there we go. We can see it's
Mirror Crusaders.
Mirror Crusaders, yeah. Never mind.
So Heath with 1 Mirror Crusader remaining in his deck.
Theoretically, unless he boarded it out for some unknown reason.
Yes, he may be the one elusive person who boards out a Mirror Crusader against the black deck. Very similar to sideboarding out your core Firewalkers against the red deck.
Man, that Life's Finale is really shaking things up over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
and a hero with mana, league mana.
All right, Adam's gotta find an answer. Quick.
He's probably got one in his hand, but he's been flashing stuff back and...
Yeah, Forbidden Alchemy, all kinds of stuff. Okay, taps 2 mana. Is this his... Oh, Snapcaster. Okay.
Starting Dismember and then...
Dismember, all right. Pays for the Dismember. It's funny, like, whenever I think of Dismember, I automatically think it costs 4 life. Like, for some reason in my head. It's like, I always associate it with paying 4 life. But yeah, you can actually pay black instead. And Elspeth. And we have, it looks like Snapcaster Negate. Yeah, Snapcaster Negate. So Adam now with a ton of answers. Heath, nothing in his hand, I don't think. And
nope,
2 Intangible Virtues.
Card.
Now, he played Intangible Virtue, but again, there we have the situation we were talking about, Anthem effect with no guys. Adam's done a good job of stabilizing right here. Oh, there's a guy. Was that right off the top?
Yeah.
So,
But I don't think it matters at this point. I think Adam has accrued far too much card advantage.
He's flashing back a Forbidden Alchemy, looking for some way to deal with that Hero of Bladehold.
Doesn't look like he found one, though.
Now, it was just a couple lands and like a counter spell, I think. Looks like another Forbidden Alchemy.
Now, Hero of Bladehold here is going to be crashing in for 11 with Double Intangible Virtue.
Yeah, that's he's got to find an answer. Are both players empty-handed here?
I think Adam has 3 cards in hand. Also with a few Forbidden Alchemies in his yard.
Yeah, and a ton of mana. Flashback Forbidden Alchemy here. Oh no, it's a Sorin's Vengeance.
Yeah.
That'll.
I was like, I'll go to 20, you'll go to 14.
Now Heath has that Volt though to start turning the tables back, swinging the pendulum the other way. And is that a Ratchet Bomb?
It's a Ratchet Bomb. That's surprisingly strong defense against this Hero of Bladehold. Now Heath might not even want to attack now.
Right, because you get double block Ratchet Bomb, and clears the board.
And that clear board when you're at 10 and your opponent's playing on the Sorin's Vengeance plan. Not great, but he decides to go for it. Does he have anything here that could save him from the double block play?
Activates the Vault. Adam kills the Ratchet Bomb to get rid of those tokens. Is Adam saying, what's going on here? I wonder what the discussion's about. Unless Adam's just deciding whether to block.
Adam didn't double block?
Doesn't block. So
that's really surprising to me.
Yeah.
He's got Snapcaster and Assurance Vengeance, or he's just got another Vengeance.
Snapcaster Vengeance, right. That's what I was thinking. I was kind of like, what's the point of blocking if I thought he had another Sorin's Vengeance. But Snapcaster is pretty much another Sorin's Vengeance, so...
Searing Wind.
There we go. Sorin's Vengeance takes round 1 for Adam Prosak. Sorin and his Vengeance. So Sorin, breakout card of round 1 here. Yeah. Sorin having a big effect on this, and not the Lord of Innistrad.
No. This is a whole different Sorin.
Now we didn't even see new Sorin at all.
No, we didn't.
Heath has 3 in his deck.